Have you ever been in a meeting when your boss suddenly asked you a question and your mind went completely blank? Or maybe a client challenged your recommendation and you started saying and while trying to think of what to say? Hi, I'm Thomas. Everybody feels pressure in meetings sometimes. The difference between looking composed and looking unprofessional isn't about being perfect. It's about knowing how to handle those pressure moments. Today, we're going to look at some practical strategies for staying calm when you're put on the spot. You'll learn how to buy time to think, handle interruptions, and recover gracefully when things don't go as planned. Let's get into it. Tense situations happen in every workplace. Your boss asks you a question unexpectedly. You weren't prepared to speak, but suddenly everybody's looking at you. A client challenges your recommendation. They question your approach, and you need to respond thoughtfully, not defensively. Or you're caught off guard by a question. Somebody asks about data that you don't have, or a topic you didn't anticipate. These moments test everybody, from entry level to executives. Nobody has all the answers all the time. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to handle pressure professionally. When the pressure hits, your body responds. Here's what usually happens: your mind just goes blank, and the information you know suddenly disappears. Your body's stress response kicks in too. The quiet feels uncomfortable, so you start talking before you're ready. And filler words like and ah take over because you haven't organized your thoughts. Don't worry, it's normal. It happens to everybody. Understanding that it's natural stress response can help to manage it better. Now, let me show you how. The first strategy is simple. Don't rush. Buy yourself some time to think. We can use these phrases to help us stall. That's a great question. Let me think for a minute. This acknowledges the person while giving you space to gather your thoughts. I want to give you a thoughtful answer. Give me just a second. This is great. It shows you take the question seriously and you value being accurate over being quick. And let me make sure I understand what you're asking. Gives you time and ensures you answer the right question. Can you clarify what you mean by whatever it is perfect when the question's unclear and has a couple of different layers to it. A lot of people think pausing makes them look uncertain, but actually, it's the opposite. Pausing shows you're thoughtful and deliberate, not reactive. Let's say we're at work and the boss asks, "What do you think about the new timeline?" And somebody answers, well, I guess, like, maybe it could work. I mean, I don't know. But, yeah, probably. I don't know. I'm not sure. This isn't a great response at all. The first problem is there are too many filler words. Like, or in almost every phrase. We're going to use those every once in a while, but if we use them too much, it sounds nervous and unprepared. And since there's no clear answer, the boss still doesn't know what this person actually thinks. It also sounds uncertain because of the phrases like, I guess, maybe, probably, I'm not sure. Now the boss really questions whether this person's capable of making decisions at all. This is what happens when people rush to fill silence without pausing to think first. Now, let's look at a more composed version. It's the same scenario where the boss asks about a new timeline. But this time, the response was, "That's a good question. Let me think for a moment. I think the timeline's tight, but manageable if we prioritize the core features. My main concern is the testing phase. We'll need to coordinate closely with QA. So, why does this work so well? The first thing it does is buy time with "that's a good question," and it gives us a few seconds to think. The pause lets us organize our answer. Then it gives a clear, structured answer. Tight but manageable is a very clear position. And prioritize core features shows we've thought it through. It shows thoughtful consideration too by mentioning the testing phase. It shows we're thinking about potential problems. See the difference? We took 2 or 3 seconds to think, then gave a clear professional answer instead of rushing and sounding uncertain. Interruptions happen too. Here's how to handle them professionally. We can say, "Let me finish this point, then I'll address that." It's firm but polite. You're acknowledging the team while maintaining your speaking time. Or, "I'll come back to that question. First, let me complete this thought." It shows their question's important, but you need to finish your current point first. That's important. Can you hold that until I finish? Then we'll discuss it. It's a good way to validate their concern while setting boundaries. If someone interrupts aggressively, don't get aggressive back. Stay professional. Your composure makes you look better, not them. What about when you just don't know what to say or don't have the answer? Well, you don't need to have every answer. Nobody does. Even though some people might think they do, honesty is better than guessing every time. Let's look at a couple of phrases to help. "I don't have that information right now. I'll find out and follow up by tomorrow, next week." This is a great one. It shows you're committed to getting the right answer, just not immediately. And another response is, "That's a good question. I need to check the data before I can answer accurately." This shows you're being correct is more important than you knowing everything. "I'm not sure about that specific detail. Let me verify and get back to you." Verify shows you want to be thorough, not just guess. And "I don't want to guess and give you the wrong information. Can I research this and update you tomorrow?" This shows integrity. You'd rather admit uncertainty than provide bad information. People respect honesty. If you guess and get it wrong, you lose credibility. If you say, "I don't know, but I'll find out," you maintain trust. Everybody makes mistakes in meetings. Here's how to recover gracefully. Actually, let me correct that. What I meant to say is, this quickly acknowledges, immediately corrects, and moves forward from the issue. I misspoke. The correct figure is, this is really simple and direct. We don't need to over apologize or dwell on the mistake. And let me clarify that point. What I should have said is, this is a great phrase to use. This is when your first explanation was unclear or incomplete. The key here is speed. Notice the error, fix it, and continue. Don't spend 2 minutes apologizing or explaining why you got it wrong. Just correct and move forward. Let's review. A 3 to 5 second pause shows confidence and gives you time to organize your thoughts. By not rushing to fill the silence and handling interruptions professionally, your composure shows leadership. And honesty builds trust. "I don't know" is better than guessing. Promise to follow up with accurate information, though. These aren't natural skills, they take practice. But the more you use them, the easier they become. Next time you're in a meeting and feel pressure, use these strategies and let us know how it works in the comments. If this video was helpful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more business English lessons. New videos every Wednesday. In the next video, we'll look at making requests and negotiating in meetings. Don't miss it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.